Hey guys, it's Babypowder, and it's time for another one of our mailbox cleanouts for our 200 run series part 2. And this is going to be the cleanout for week 11. Last cleanout was really good. We actually made over 386,000. So far we're doing, way better than what we did with the first series by this time. Still, we're actually going to be above it no matter what we make today, but we still want to try to be over at least 2 million gold. This past week, what we added was loot from both Zulfarak and from Skyreach. So we looking for some of those WAD items, hopefully seeing some of those sold, also seeing maybe some glorious pieces. We didn't get too many, but we did get a couple pairs of glorious leg plates and things like that from Zulfarak. So we looked to see if we sold those. We did actually have one pattern from Godzilla too, so we'll hopefully maybe see that sold if we're lucky. This week coming up, we're working on Karazhan and RFK, so hopefully that'll help increase our sales with some of those items coming in. But before we get into the review and go over everything as far as how we're doing, if you guys do like these videos, make sure you smash the big thumbs up. Lets me know that you like it and also helps out the channel. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. All right, guys, again, like I said, we made 386,000 gold last week, which is really good. We aim for at least 200,000, but we're hoping to make more with this series than the first one, because the first series only added loot from one farm each week to kind of see how each farm would help out and help build our sales up. Whereas this one, as much as we farm the week before, we added, which I've been aiming to try to get at least like 2 different things up at a time. With Alderman, that wasn't the case. So I can only add Alderman, but that's going to happen too with some of the bigger farms and stuff. But anyway, as far as how we're doing total, we've so far made 2,730,000 gold, which is really good compared to first series, where we, even after this week, week 11, we were only at 1,951,000, as you can see there. So we'll be looking to hopefully reach another 200,000 this week. So far, how our realms are performing, Proudmoore has still made us the most with 1,560,000. They just made 269,000 last week. Thrall still did pretty good at 116,000. They've made us 1,170,000 so far. Majority of our gold has been made with transmog at 2,478,000, and then 252,000 for our materials, which, we don't really aim for materials, but we do get a little bit here and there with what we farm. That leaves us with 7,269,000 left to make before we reach our goal. And also, we're still tracking the items from our sales with the first series, but I just realized I did not update it. I've got the numbers here though, so let me update that right now with you guys here. We did last week, we made 249,000. We're still not adding items, so it's good passive gold that those transmog items are still making us from the first series, from everything that was left over. And you see, since we've started this, well, we'll see once I add this here. We made 191,447 gold here. Why is it not putting it in here? All right, so it made us 191,447 gold with the first series. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So mix up with my connection there, but anyway, that now brings us to 3,909,000 we've made since we started this series from the items from the first series. So they're still making us a bunch of gold, which is really good, which means since we've started this series, even with our leftover items from the last one, I mean, that's what, close to or over 6 million gold, something like that. So yeah, really nice. But anyway, let's get to our bank alt, see what we made this week. Let's go ahead and jump. First, we're going to check out Proudmoore. We'll look at the low value transmog sales, then we'll look at the high value transmog sales, then we'll look at the materials, which may also include some pets and things. But then we'll jump to Thrall and do the exact same thing and see if we can reach that 200,000 at least this week, or hopefully even beat what we got last week. That's what we always hope for, but it doesn't always happen. So first, bank alt, low value transmog for Proudmoore. We've got 25 cells, 43,586 gold. Not bad at all. definitely a lot better than our low value transmog has been looking here recently. We have some standouts here. Plundered Molten Reaper, 3,500. We have the Jade Gauntlets at 5,720. We have the Hydraxian Mantle at 7,000. And Jade Gauntlets, of course, we got a few of those from Zul'Farrak, so seeing cells from the farm we just did. The Arcanite Gun, 1,200. I don't believe that one actually came from Skyreach, so that probably actually came from Iron Docks, or maybe when we did the Wild Blue farm. Formula Enchant Weapon Potency for 5,200. We also have a Grizzle Maw Armor for 7,300 here. We also have a Sirach Scale Belt for 1,800. Tyrant's Chest Piece, now that one came from Zul'Farrak, 4,500 for that one. So not really seeing anything from Skyreach yet, but well, except for maybe like the rings and stuff. I think that's a trinket, maybe, where I sold it with the inflated group, but nothing really seeing sold from Skyreach, just Zul'Farrak. But all right, guys, so now with our high value transmog with Proudmoore, we've got 6 sales, 110,429 gold. So not bad, you know, between both low value and high value. Always good to see over 100,000 in the high value range. See, we got the Butcher sold, so that came from our Scarlet Monastery runs at 14,000. Sold some Lofty Legs at only 6,000. Those came from our Zul'Farrak runs. Glorious Gauntlets for 3. Glorious Leg Plates. So we did actually sell our 1 leg plate. We don't have any more for Proudmoore now, but 84,000. Not a bad sell on that one. I know they're valued right now at like 200,000, but it's kind of overinflated. I mean, honestly, I've sold one of these this exact round previously, so you know, around 50 to 30,000 sometimes in the past. So that's really a good sell here. Creeper Claw Bow sold for 1,200. Again, I think that's from Iron Docks, so not from our Skyreach run, so it doesn't really look like we sold anything from Skyreach. Twilight's Dragons breastplate, that probably came from Islands, almost 1,500 for that one, but not bad. 110,429 gold. All right, guys, so now it's our last bank alt for Proudmoore. It's our materials bank alt before we switch to Thrall. Let's take a look. We've got 14 sales, 12,066 gold. Not bad at all. We only made 12,000. Well, actually, that's more than what we made all of last week with our materials, so that's really good. See, we sold 2 of the auction house modules for almost 3,000 gold each. Really nice there. And those are actually the ones that come from doing the dungeons, and we just got a whole bunch more from doing Skyreach, so that's really nice. Let's see, we sold the Desting Scorpit for 1,300. We sold the auction house module for the open world farm, so one of those for almost 2,500. So not bad there. And then just some cheap pets. Don't really have much as far as materials, maybe some star rubies and some pearls here. All right, guys, so this time on Thrall now, we're looking at the low value transmog. Let's take a look. We've got 18 sales, 45,848 gold, so right up there with Proudmoore. So really nice with the low value transmog, at least with both realms, really. Let's see, though, we've got the Arcanine Knuckles here for 3,500. We got the Sunsquire Ham Wraps for 2,500. Man, a lot of stuff here. Sunsquire, though, I actually do think that came from Skyreach. The Shoveler from Alderman, 1,400. Blue Nailed Claws here. Not sure where those come from. 1,800 for those. Witch Doctor's Cane here for 2,500. Blood Spike for almost 3,000. Jade Boots here, so Zul'Farrak, almost 7,000 on those. And then we've got the Thrasher Blades here for 3,300. Let's see, Saltstone Shoulders for 1,300. Probably came from RFD. We've got Grimscale Legs for 4,700. Not bad. Those will most likely came from way back when we did Ramparts, actually. And also the Grimscale Pauldrons for almost 10,000. And I say Ramparts because we haven't really done any dungeons to really get like the green items, and that's what these are from Outlands. So yeah, not bad at all. 45,848 gold. All right, guys, so now on high value transmog for Thrall, we've got 3 sales, only 20,603 gold. Man, it's a rough week for them. Let's see, Prospect Boots 6,300. Plundered Hosen Chieftain Staff for under 1,000, man. Hate to see a high value piece under 1,000. This is not too bad, actually. Prospector boots, I actually think, are more around the low value range. Maybe they went up recently, so it's got thrown over here. But yeah, not too upset about that one. Saltstone boots for 13,000. Again, not horrible, not the greatest, but still would have just liked to have seen maybe something else, something nicer. All right, guys, so it's our last bank alt for week 11. It's going to be our materials bank alt for Thrall. Let's take a look. And we've got 16 sales, 26,094 gold. I got to say, I mean, at least both groups were doing well with the low value transmog. They were both doing well with the materials. Let's see what we got here. Scritch is almost up to 1,000 gold. Auction house modules, finally selling those modules again here. 9,500 for this one. One of the open world ones for 8,500. So actually sold these for a better amount than what Proudmoore did, though, at least. Captain Nib sold that for 1,400. We also sold a Snort Pet for 1,700. And then another Captain Nibs, and actually this one sold for better than the other one. 2,850 gold for that one. So not bad. 26,094 gold. Let's go ahead and wrap things up and get to our sheet and see how well we did this week. All right, guys, so week 11, we ended up making 220,466 gold for the week with transmog, 38,160 gold with our materials, which is way above what materials made us last week, which brings us to a total of 258,626 gold, which, yes, it is down from last week, but hey, we broke over 200,000 thanks to Proudmoore actually having some really nice sales with their high value transmog. Thrall kind of let us down there, but hey, that's one of the reasons why we do 2 realms too, is because some realms will do better than others certain weeks and so on, which, you know, Proudmoore has been leading here for a while now, but that could change at any minute. I mean, Proudmoore led for majority of the series 1, and then Thrall came back and actually ended up taking the lead at the very end. So it can switch, and they actually did take the lead from Proudmoore a couple of times throughout the series too. But anyway, it's still not a competition. We're just using the 2 realms, try to make 10 million as fast as possible, and at least we're again over 200,000 this week. This does now bring us to a total of 2,989,554 gold, which is still above the 1,951,000 we had made so far with the series 1, leaving us with 7,010,000 gold left to make to reach our goal, which we're really close. We still did also actually beat week 11 from series 1. Week 11 only made 235,000 this week, so that's really good too. We actually did better than they did the first time around, and I still don't know why this does not want to save this for me, although I have done it a million times. I can't understand it. Something when I copy it over, I guess, to a new sheet, maybe that's why it doesn't do it. But anyway, looking at our realms, Proudmoore made us 166,000 this week, bringing them to a total of 1,726,000 for us since we started this. Thrall only made us 92,000 this week, which still is close to a million, or 100,000, sorry, a million. And that brings them to 1,262,000 since they've started here for us. Now, as far as our transmog, we have now made 2,699,000, and now with the materials, 290,000. But guys, that pretty much is going to wrap things up for this review, or this series, this review, this clean out. Getting all my words mixed up there, but anyway, yeah, it's going to pretty much wrap it up. Again, if you guys do enjoy these videos, smash the big thumbs up. You know, even though I'm twisting my words here, but yeah, it definitely helps out the channel, and it lets me know that you guys enjoy it. And also, you know, think about hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Next week we will be adding again Karazhan and RFK. We'll see if those items can help us make some sales, and we'll start working on the Old Kingdom and Shadow Labs, you know, trying to get back to Wrath there with that one, and try to get some of those items back up on the auction house. And Shadow Labs, try to do that. I know we just did Karazhan, but Also, Shadow Labs was our best dungeon in Series 1 with getting epics, even though it didn't get as much as Karazhan or Sunwell. But also with Shadow Labs, we'll be able to get some green items and things too, to kind of, we saw that we sold some of the green items today. So hopefully we can restock some of those from Shadow Labs. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope to see you all in the next video and sometime live on Twitch. Take care, guys.